Welcome to Friday, NFP Friday, and the end of the week. And as you can see, this week has been win, no trades, win, win. A pretty good week. Currently up quite a bit on the week. Um, Up 3% on the week so far, which is awesome. That's how the account is sitting. As you can see, we have brought it back quite well, had good risk management. Yesterday was a really good day. And we've had NFP today. And NFP came out better than forecasted, which is all good for the dollar, which has caused the indexes to absolutely rip. As you can see, the news came out here, so we're already above that data high on both indexes. Yeah, so I'm not really fancying taking a trade today for a couple of reasons. So day one, it's Friday. Reason one, it's Friday. Reason two, it's NFP Friday. Reason three, I made a good amount of money yesterday. I don't really fancy giving that all back today. I'd like to have a time away from the charts before I start risking again. So heavily de-risked today, no more than 0.5%. So the account is at 51,429. I don't want to risk any more than like $250 absolute maximum. I don't care how banger the traders. I don't want to risk a lot, even if the trade is absolutely perfect. 0.5% is where I draw the line, regardless. And I don't like the look of price from this huge leg up from NFP. So what have I drew out? I've got this 1 hour imbalance. To the downside first, 1 hour imbalance and all these 1 hour lows that were generated yesterday from yesterday's choppy price action after market open. Really nice trade on market open, nice and clean yesterday. Then after that, it was just chopping up, generating this liquidity on the 1 hour. So all of that to the downside. We're not going to come back down there today. No chance. Not after the NFP rip up. It's likely price is going to just continue higher. That's the likely thing for today, I reckon. Then to the upside, there's this 1 hour imbalance here, which NQ has filled all the way, as you can see. And 1 hour highs on ES, 1 hour highs, 1 hour highs, 1 hour highs, and all-time highs. I think those are 4 hour highs. So price comes up, gives a 5-minute down candle, 5-minute retrace, and then moves down off of that with 1-minute confirmations. Then sure, I'll short. Or if price comes all the way back down to take out these 15-minute lows, then 1-minute longs, or take out these hourly imbalance and these hourly lows, then 5-minute up candle, 5-minute retrace moves higher. NQ is the exact same situation, except we've just filled out this 1 hour imbalance already. So that again, there's these two 15-minute lows here, and the 1 hour imbalance, which is very small, but it is there. And then all these 1 hour lows from yesterday's session, just slowly chopping it up. All those 1 hour lows, some of them are 4 hour lows, but they're all high time frame lows. And then to the upside, these high time frame highs, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, and then these ones up there, which aren't all time highs because all time highs are still up here on NQ. So we're looking for the same sort of thing. I might draw on this 15-minute imbalance, but I don't want to take longs off of it, to be honest. I'd rather see a sweep of anything on the 15-minute because these are pretty big imbalances. So what could happen is, so this is the imbalance. Price could very well tap it and then we go long, or it's still valid for price to come all the way down and then go up from it. So I don't really want to use that imbalance as it is so big. So I'd like to see a sweep of some sort, whether it's these highs or these lows, for me to actually want to take a trade, but I don't want to take a trade today. We'll see what happens. Market opens in 5 minutes, and we'll just react accordingly to what price gives me. So, that being said, see you in a second. Alrighty. So, trade recap time. Bit of a different trade today. I de-risked a lot because it was such a late trade. I literally risked 0.113%, so like $55. I ended up making $44 because of how I managed to trade, because it was just so different. So let's get into what price did. So obviously, market opened up here after this NFP leg up, and there was no form of sweep of any highs after market opened, so I didn't take a short. No sweep, no trade. So market opened and then just worked its way down, and then big sell off around 950 all the way down to this very small hourly imbalance and those 15-minute lows. So it means I'm looking for a long, because that's our sweep. Because I don't really take, yes, these 15-minute highs got swept out pre-market, but I don't take pre-market sweeps as valid, because the way I understand liquidity is the big banks filling the orders or taking out people's orders to fill their big orders, and banks start trading at 9:30. So only a sweep after the banks start trading would make sense to me. So that's just how I understand it. You might understand it differently and treat it differently. Don't care. That's how I understand it. But anyway, market opened and came all the way down. No sweep of any highs, so no shorts taken, because and on ES, no sweeps either. No sweep, no trade. That's what I like to say. Yeah, so price come all the way down until these 15-minute lows got swept out and this hourly imbalance was filled. I then see a 5-minute leg up, so I'm waiting for a 5-minute retrace. 1 minute structure is broken at 10:13. ES 10:13 breaks 1 minute structure as well. So I'm waiting for that again, that 5-minute down candle to form. And 10:20, so 10:25, this 5-minute down candle closes. ES, same thing. 10:25, 5-minute down candle closes. So I draw my equilibrium from the 5-minute low to the 5-minute high. And I'm waiting for just 1 minute confirmations at that point. So drawing this imbalance, obviously the equilibrium line is here. And there's nothing for a while. There's this imbalance here that gets disrespected, but I don't take it as much. Okay, boom. I would have been stopped at break even now. So anyway, price comes down. 10:32, NQ breaks 1 minute structure again, back to the upside. And on the 5-minute, we still hadn't closed below that original low. On ES, we did close below that original low, and made equal lows with the 1 hour lows, which was something. But I've noticed this week ES has made out equal lows or equal highs and then just left them for ages, while NQ still gave trades. So I took that as what it was, because that's what's been happening this week. This week ES has been making loads of equal highs and equal lows, but leaving them until NQ's trade's done before taking them. So I was still open to taking a trade, and I was like, right, close out equilibrium and inverse this imbalance is enough for me to enter. That happened at 10:40, much later on into the session. I had my cutoff time at 11 a.m. New York time, so it was quite close to the end of the session for me. I entered my trade there. I de-risked heavily. I had one micro contract with my stop just there, really. I didn't want to have it any lower. It's just where I put it. No real reason for why it's there. Probably should have been below that low. But in my head, if price comes down to here, it's not going up anyway. And then my original take profit was those highs for a 1.58 RR. And that would have made me like $85. So I reevaluated my position, and I realised, right, if NFP, this is my reasoning, if NFP made this big leg up when it came out, overall the news is good for the market, and then market open and AM session retraces that move to take out liquidity, the market should realistically just trail back up again following the NFP move. And that was my theory for quite a while. That was my theory. So I decided just to let runners run, really. I had my take profit there at those 1 minute highs. I was like, I'll just let it run. My stop went to break even once we pushed past that high. And then we made this low, and I put my stop there just because if price comes down to that low, it will take me out of break even, and it did. So price came down to that low, and then it would have got me out of break even. So literally made $43 on the day, but I am not fussed at all because I didn't want to trade today anyway. And now my trading week looks like this: win, no trades, win, 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 flawless week. If I had taken profits there, obviously I would have still been happy with that. $80, nice and simple, and it's still a valid trade that I normally take. Obviously today I broke the rules. Yes, I did break the rules and do stuff a little differently, and I obviously suffered from that. But I only suffered from that by $40, so it doesn't even make a difference to me. So I'm not too fussed. I'm still happy with the trade that I ended up taking. ES, I used ES as confirmation, even though we did close below that 5 minute original low. At the time that I entered, ES broke 1 minute structure, so I was just like, yeah, and it did close back above the 1 hour imbalance and the 15-minute low. So that was enough for me to go in. It hadn't invalidated this yet, but it did 4 minutes later anyway. So if I'd waited 4 minutes later, I would have got an entry on this candle. So it would have been the same anyway if I waited for that even more confirmation on ES, but I didn't, but it's fine. But that is my trade for the day. The best play probably was just to take profits there and call it a day. 1.58 RI is what I normally trade anyway, around that range. So I could have just called it a day. And then again, yeah, I could have took profits at the top of, or that 1 minute fair value gap, which is the bottom of a 5 minute one. So yeah, that probably also could have been viable as well. It's still 2.8 RI, and it still would have been $150 from $50. So yeah, mistakes were made today, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna be upset by it because I'm still up on the week a lot, over 3% up on the week, so I'm not complaining at all. As you can see, the week started at 49,912 and ended at 51,47. Or 51,473. So yeah, I mean, I've had a really, really good week. Haven't lost this week. Haven't lost a trade. So yeah, that was probably the play, but it ended up being a 0.81 RR trade, which it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna put a cross there and then put 0.81. So yeah, I probably won't take a trade like this ever again. I'm not a fan of leaving stop loss in profit. I'm not a fan of moving to break even before taking profits, but because it was such a late trade and I had one micro, I was happy just to let it run. I've already had such a good week. I don't think I'll ever be in the circumstances again to take a trade like this again. So yeah, the trade to take profit was there, but it was 500 ticks, so I would have made exactly 0.5%. So that was the trade I ended up taking. Obviously stopped in profit. I'm still happy with it. I'm still counting it as a win because it is still a win. I'm happy with the trade. Followed the system. 5 minute move up, 5 minute retrace, 1 minute confirmation to enter. ES was telling the similar thing, but ES didn't take those highs at all, or ever. ES was a lot slower. It did inverse this 1 minute imbalance, but still, it is what it is. I'm not fussed at all. Obviously, my trade finished there, so yeah, that is my trade for today. That is my week rounded off. My first ever flawless week, really. Only wins and only one day where I didn't take a trade. Only wins. If I had risked today, if I had risked the right amount, So I risked 0.5%. I would have took profit there because it would have made me over 0.5%. So if I did risk the right amount, would have had to risk like I would have had 4 contracts to risk that much. So maybe I would have had extendo profits, but who knows what I would have done. I didn't want to risk a lot, so I heavily de-risked. Heavily de-risked because I made a lot yesterday. Didn't want to give any of it back. Still took a winning trade. And that wraps up the week. I will catch you all next week. Peace.